Not long after this Memorial Day, and to help remember D-Day, the Anoka County Library held a special presentation.
Well, tonight we are gathered with the Anoka County Library, as well as Forgotten Star Brewery staff, as well as our presenter tonight, which is Ted Stamos. He is a Korean War veteran, and he gives a presentation on D-Day. And tonight here we're going to do that not long after Memorial Day to kind of bring folks together in the community to remember and commemorate all military service members, past and present.
Ted was an Air Force pilot in the Korean War and is a longtime volunteer and exhibitor developer for the Minnesota History Center.
My background is this. I was in Air Force ROTC. It was during the Korean War. And in the second year, I ran out of money to continue. And I didn't want to go on the water, didn't want to go on the land. So at that time, you didn't need a degree to go apply for flight training. And at that time, I wanted to go into commercial flying because that's where they took most of the pilots at that time. So I applied, I was successful, and then deployed eventually to Korea. And after a short time, I had my eyes got damaged. And so that ended a flying career. But one door closes and God opens another one. And so I went back to school on the GI Bill and became one of those head shrinker doctor types. Because what I wanted to do was go back and help some of my fellow veterans with what is called PTSD today and spend some time at the VA to do so, which I did at the beginning of my career. So, and I tell you that only for one reason. Because when I get to the point in the discussion, my goal tonight is this. When I'm finished, if I'm successful, you will know exactly why the catastrophe occurred in the air that night we're talking about in D-Day, why the atrocities occurred on the ground, why the latest researchers call this the most violent night of the war, and something about PTSD and the suicide rate as a result. And hopefully you will have the answers to those things, otherwise I have failed in this.
They picked the location for the presentation for a good reason.
If you've never been here before, we opened in November 2019. We are the only original building left in this entire facility here. If you notice when you drove in, we have those two big stacks with the big E and the stars. During World War II, actually, this whole facility was one of the biggest structures in all of Minnesota. And it was run by FMC and Northern Pump Manufacturing. They were essentially a company that manufactured a lot of like pump and plumbing material, mainly like fire hydrants. During World War II, they switched all their efforts to the war effort fully, and they manufactured a lot of naval guns. When you walk out by the bar, you can see some more history on that. But that big E that we have on our big stack there, that's an award of excellence from the United States military that was awarded to the facility during World War II. The E is an award of excellence for just maintaining that standard of production efficiency during the war efforts. For every star after that, that was if you maintained that same level for an additional 6 months. The name Forgotten Star comes from, they got the first 5 stars when the war ended. The 6th star was added subsequently after, hence the name of the brewery.
Ted shared his own experiences and his friends. And Ted has made it his personal mission to help veterans and to spread knowledge of some untold stories and facts.
But I thank you for having me come at this point, because I know that my mission in making reparations, is still going on to help my own soul in the process too. Thank you so very much, all of you.
To hear and experience his presentation, you'll have to head to the Minnesota History Center in St. Paul.